Hey, lifers. Welcome back to another episode of the For Life podcast. This is episode 3.
Hey, 3.
And we want to thank you all so much for listening to episodes 1 and 2. We want to thank you for sharing and liking and subscribing and rating. The ratings are hilarious and awesome. You guys are phenomenal.
And much needed.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for that. We are hoping that you guys are loving this as much as we are. We are having so much fun with this. I'm loving coming up with topics and things of that nature.
And except for setup. We always fight during the setup. People should know that.
It's a very good thing those windows weren't open about 3 minutes ago.
If there were cameras on here of us fighting during the setup, we get more views than anything. But then also we might get divorced. Before we ever get married.
Hot jinx. All right. So we want you guys to check out the For Life podcast website. We have just put it up. It is up and running. There is literally nothing on it, but that's where we need your help. We want to know what kind of things you guys want to see on that. Do you want to see some blog posts? Do you want to see some pictures that we wouldn't post to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, blah, blah, blah? Or...
yeah, anything really. Like we're just trying to build it out right now. It's basic, and it's got like the latest episodes show up on there, things like that for people that are experiencing us for the first time or just learning about us. But then, yeah, we just thought, if there's some interactive stuff we could put on there for everybody else.
He also wants you to go check out our merch on there for the For Life podcast. But guess how much merch is on there for the For Life podcast? None.
We have Here We Go shirts up there right now. I get it. That's kind of my thing. But we need ideas for this podcast. And like we've racked our brains a little bit, but what I've found in podcasting over the years is that you guys hear things that we don't hear, and you catch on to things that are said over and over again, catchphrases, shit like that. So if you hear us say something you think would be a good shirt, let us know. And if we pick your idea,
we're going to buy it for you.
You get a free shirt. There you go. Yeah.
We're going to buy it for you.
Yeah.
Because we like you guys. And we need you, and we love you, so thank you. All right, Toad, go for your promotional stuff.
2 things I got to get out there. 1, Ryan Niemiller and I are partnered up in the Coast to Coast Roast, which is hosted by Helium Comedy Clubs throughout the nation. There is a website for that. If you go to my social media, you will see the link. Go there if you want to buy tickets to watch that. We are competing as representatives for the city of Indianapolis against comedy teams from all over the country. So we don't roast the other comics, we roast the other cities. Should be pretty fun. Check that out. And also, with 1041, Marnee came up with a neat little idea.
Because I'm clever.
1040 fun. As far like it's a good phrase. It sounds like 1041, but it's 1040 fun. And I've been looking to do something new with 1041. I brainstormed with my buddy Chris Bowers, and this is the new format. I will continue to do an hour of traditional true crime on the crime topic or the criminal. And then afterward, you get to hear about 5 minutes of me doing stand-up only on that topic. So it's like bonus at the end. And that bonus segment will be called 1040 Fun. So I'll probably use people from my Patreon and just do kind of a Zoom show or something, bring them in as the audience and perform the 5 minutes over live stream to them and record it and then put that audio at the end of 1041 each time. So you'll get all the information, right, about the crime or the criminal in true crime format. And then afterward, you get to hear me do 5 minutes of stand-up about that topic because I'm out there to show I'm a comedian and a cop, and you can find funny in anything. So, all right.
I should get some royalties off of 1040 Fun, whatever the shit that makes, because I came up with it. So, and...
well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a free shirt.
Oh, I hate you.
Hey, look at that. Look at me.
Well, going right into it, because it's kind of been a slower week. Nothing really has happened. Nobody's told us anything fun that has happened in our DMs or whatever. So you know what? I'm dedicating this podcast to me.
Oh, are you? And how so?
Because my back has been hurting from carrying the load of the good looks, the humor, and this podcast on my back.
Oh, really? Oh, poor Marnee. Poor Marnee. She does do a lot of writing for this. We do collabs somewhat. I come up with a few things, but she does 85% of the writing for this. And by writing, just coming up with topics and picking out listener questions and things like that. So she's learning what it's like.
I had a really good topic that Todd won't let me do because he doesn't think it's good enough.
Well, you can bring it up, and then we'll make special emphasis that this is the topic that we debated, and then afterward we'll let listeners let us know if it fucking sucks or not.
All right.
If you were right or if I was right.
I'm always right.
Okay.
All right. So what has happened this week?
Lots happened, man. I finally have a decent place for our squirrels to sit and enjoy their breakfast.
Thanks to my mother, Amy Perfect Pants.
Yes.
She bought us a squirrel picnic table feeder off of the Nextdoor app.
People had been sending us pictures for a long time now on social media, but they were always like gaudy and giant,
and
like
fat,
sticking way out of the
ugly.
tree. Like, do I got to run lag bolts through the entire tree and then anchor them on the other side to hold this regular, like, kid-size picnic table? I just need a little one. The squirrels are little. And she found one.
This one's perfect.
The perfect size.
I wish she would have told me the guy's name so we could have blasted him on here and helped him grow his business. It was only $20. I could not have made that.
Oh, shit. Wait a second. What if we did For Life podcast squirrel picnic tables for the sides of people's trees and we sold them online? Maybe that might be coming. Hang on.
Do you remember what happened when we made the tables? We don't work well together in construction.
Maybe we could hire it out to people in Taiwan or something. Another country, and then we'll have them shipped here. They'll make them real cheap. They're little kids.
Well,
they get paid nothing.
Well, oh my gosh, it's really awesome. The table is really awesome. So far, the squirrels climb down, they descend like Spider-Man, take the nuts, and run away.
They don't sit yet?
They have yet to sit on. We put it in the perfect spot where we can watch from our kitchen, and we have yet to see a single squirrel have a picnic.
Well, that pisses me off. But we have to get the corn because there's a screw that's inverted in the middle of the table. Right now I have one of your wine corks on there so they don't.
Hashtag Woodbridge.
We don't just constantly have dead squirrels like, you know, with the spike through their spine on the picnic table. So when we get the sweet corn or whatever, we can screw.
It's dried corn. You can get it at Lowe's.
Whatever it is.
Sweet
We
corn.
screw that on there.
Fuck. Do you think we're going to shop for them at the farmer's market?
They might sit on the seats then and eat like side by side like a little squirrel couple, the girl on one side, the guy on the other, and just go to town on the ear of corn.
So Todd gives 10 fucks about the squirrels and the ducks.
Yes,
but
all
my
the
heart and soul revolves around my birds.
Which I just think is stupid. Birds are so stupid.
Oh my gosh. I love watching my robin go in the backyard. We have a nest in our backyard, and the robin will go all over our backyard and pick out the little wormies and bring them to the babies.
It's gross. They eat worms. They carry dead worms to their young. They chew it up, and then they vomit it in the baby bird's mouth. They're disgusting animals.
Your squirrels have mites.
Squirrels pick up an entire peanut, and then they shell it. They take the shell off, and then they sit there and they eat in an adorable fashion the nut on the inside. Or they run off with it and they bury it. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, that's what they do before the winter, so then they can have stuff to eat.
They take those nuts, Marnie, and they run. Each nut is buried at least 20 meters from the other, just randomly in the yard. How do they go back and find the nuts?
Are we in Europe? Why are you measuring things in meters?
It's for the track people. So they know what distance I'm talking about. But it's incredible. The squirrels are adorable and fun to watch. And the reason that I love ducks and squirrels is because they also make good pets. You can't have like a bird as a pet. They don't like attention. They're not cute. They'll peck your eyes. Have you ever seen the movie Birds?
Have you
the
ever?
Hitchcock movie?
What about Eli?
But I mean, I have a serious question about the movie
I've
Birds.
seen the movie Birds.
So you know how it's a horror movie, right? Which is ridiculous. Like a flock of birds and crows come in. Like birds could never kill you. You just go like this and you swat them away. There's nothing they can do. They're powerless against us. But a lot of people got scared when that first came out. And there was a dude, Richard Ruffin, that I was in school with, and he was deathly afraid of birds because of that movie. He saw it when he was really little, and it stayed with him. And one time we were in, I would say junior high, a bird got into the gymnasium during open gym, and was flying around in the rafters, and he let out like the most awkward scream. It was like, "Ah!" And he just started running and trying to hide under the bleachers just from one bird in the rafters. And I was like, oh my God, because you can't undo that. Like once that happened, for the rest of his life in school, we made fun of him for being scared of birds.
Well, that was a riveting story. Do you want to move on to what else is happening
No,
this week?
because I want to know, because of that, what movies traumatized you as a kid? Was there a movie you watched that stuck with you for a long time after you watched it because it was so scary, even if it wasn't a horror movie?
Halloween. I remember watching Halloween as like a 7-year-old at my neighbor that lived across the street, and I was supposed to have a sleepover, and I left, and I just went home. I was so scared. But now
That's a like scary ass fucking movie.
But now Halloween, it's like one of my favorite, and I mean, it's still scary, but I've seen them all, and it's still one of my favorite horror.
Well, when you're a kid, things are way more scary. But that movie had to terrorize young babysitters across the world forever, because it was all about him coming there, and Jamie Lee Curtis was the babysitter, and he comes in and starts slaughtering people. Like, if there was one vocation that suffered from that movie coming out, it was teenage babysitters.
I disagree wholeheartedly, because there's still plenty of babysitters out there. There's also a website.
Well, I'm not saying it did away with the career, but
you just don't want to do it.
how scary was it for young girls that were babysitting after that movie came out?
I guess a lot.
It had to be terrorizing. And I'll tell you what movie scared me. Poltergeist, when it came out, because there was a clown that came to life and attacked a little boy that was about my age when I watched it. And I had to share a bedroom with my sister at the time, and she had this giant clown collection. So there were clowns staged everywhere in our bedroom.
Why would you ever have a clown collection?
Yeah, tell me about it. She loved clowns, and they were the creepy looking clowns, just like in Poltergeist, and they were littered all around us. Like, I would get up in the middle of the night and take sheets and put over the clowns so I couldn't see them.
My next door neighbor used to be a clown.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's weird. Anybody that wants to be a clown, I feel like that's weird.
I've never seen Poltergeist because I hate clowns, and I'm not really a huge fan of scary movies. So when you put the two together, fuck it.
Clowns are creepy anyway.
Can I talk to you about some stuff that I've bought this week that are kind of awesome?
Sure. I'm sure they're awesome. Let's go through it. Let's
I don't
grade
want to
them.
talk about scary movies anymore.
Let's
it's
grade them.
giving me anxiety. So the first thing I want to talk about is my phone case that you're staring at.
Oh, yeah. You're so proud of this phone case. Why are you proud of it?
Because it's vegetables, but they're in the shapes of penises.
So you have dick vegetables just littered on the back of your case. And I guess it's safe enough. Like, you can go, like, you
don't
can
know.
go to church because people would be like, oh, that's an ear of corn. They would have to look at it really close to see that it's a giant cock that's
shaped like a
made
corn.
to look like a cob of corn. Yeah.
And an eggplant, and there's a yam on there.
Yeah, but they're all dicks.
They're all dicks. They're all the shapes of dicks.
Which, I guess, brilliant marketing on their behalf, because there are plenty of childish, stupid people like you that will buy it and just laugh hysterically at themselves for having the case. But the thing about this case is, you have to grab someone and say, wait, look at my phone case.
Which I did.
And they're like, oh, cool, vegetables. And then you have to take the extra step to go, no, look really closely. They're dicks. And then the person goes, oh, yeah, they're dicks that look like vegetables.
Yeah, that's what I did to like 10 people at work.
I know, but wouldn't it be better if they were just noticeably dicks, so that people just randomly discovered it on their own?
I work with some surgeons that I just feel like it would not be in my best interest to have some wieners on my phone.
Well, maybe you have a work case and then a not at work case.
No way. This case is too cool. This is an all the time case.
But I think it would be funny, like, if I saw you at a grocery store and you were on your phone and you were passing me and I didn't know who you were. I'm just a stranger. And then I'm like, her case has dicks on it. That would be awesome for me.
Well, it could also be like that lady's mask. Did you see the meme of that lady's mask?
No.
And it has dicks that look like those, like cartoon tiny wieners.
Uh-huh.
And she said every time someone comes up to her and says, are those wieners on your mask? She says, if you can tell that there's wieners on my mask, then you're too close. I'm like,
Oh, how
then it's
clever.
the same thing as my phone case. If you can tell that these vegetables are dicks, you're too close. Back up.
Back up. Back up off me. Social distancing. Get away from my dick mask.
My next stupid purchase, my fart spray.
This was the worst. You made everybody sick. Like it doesn't smell like farts. It's worse. It's like a decaying body.
I bought this on Amazon, right? I bought it last Tuesday on Amazon, and it told me that it wasn't going to get delivered until May 9th. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, that sucks because I want it now, Amazon, damn it. But it's essential to me because I have a lot of plans for this fart spray, but it's not essential to Amazon. But then Amazon was like, Marnee, you are such a good customer. We're going to deliver it to you on Friday. And so I got it on Friday.
And what have you done with it? Because we were grilling out, and you let go of it and made everybody sick. We had to pause the grill out.
And then I got it on my hands, and I washed my hands like 100 times. I couldn't get it off. It doesn't. So the reviews are awesome on this fart spray. It says that it smells like diarrhea, like pretty bad diarrhea, but
diarrhea.
But to me, it smells like cow manure. Like, so it's not horrid to me because I feel like I've like grew up around manure.
Your mom and Dave had a very negative reaction to it.
Well, they're both pussies.
I feel like for fart spray to be funny, it should be sprayed, and then when people in the room or after a minute or so are like, oh, geez, who farted? Like, come on, somebody farted. Then not just start vomiting. Like, that takes the fun out.
But do you know what they say? Like, everybody loves their own scent. Like, if I farted right now and it smelled so bad, I could sit here crying, laughing, but like,
yes,
live to enjoy everybody else's displeasure. So I feel like that's where the best part about this fart spray comes in is like, I could spray it and sit there and be like, fuckers. And everybody else
so
would be
it didn't
crying.
bother you at all?
I mean, it stinks, but it's not revolting to me.
It looked pretty revolting. I don't have a great sense of smell, so it didn't really bother me, but they were literally ready to vomit. So I feel like maybe they need to knock it down a little bit. Now, maybe you didn't read the fine print. Maybe you ordered the fart spray of a dead person or something. Like maybe it was an extra concentrated formula.
Well, it was $12, which I feel like is a lot of money for some fart spray.
Yeah, but think of what all goes into it. It's not cheap to make.
Water, scent.
What in the hell do you make fart spray out of?
I wish I had it in here because there's ingredients on there.
Really?
Yeah, there are, but I don't have it in here.
So I wonder if there's a laboratory where people are collecting farts and then putting it through one of those like chromatograph things or whatever they're called, where they breaks down the ingredients of things.
If there's a job for that, please call me.
You want to design fart smells?
No, I want to fart in a tube.
It could be a whole array of like what's usually the worst smelling fart? Like when you're sick, like the flu fart?
No, after you've eaten.
The flu fart's bad.
After you've eaten like Applebee's, if you have like chicken tenders from Applebee's, sometimes your tummy doesn't feel very good.
Really?
Yeah. And like those farts.
I always know when my fart's going to stink because there's heat to it.
Yeah, they're hot.
Yeah. When a fart goes and there's no like heat, then I'm like, nobody's going to notice that one. It's fine. Then those are usually the loudest ones. When there's heat to it, it takes the sound out of it because it needs all its energy for the stink. So it's like, I don't know. And I don't know how does it get hotter than my body? Like, that's weird. My ass and colon somehow is turning up the heat on the air because I'm only 98.6, but it comes out like 136.
Like fucking lava.
Yeah. So what's inside us that's like, ooh, this is going to be an extra good one. Let's heat this up and boil it.
Methane gas.
There's a methane reaction in there?
Sure.
Hashtag
science. God, I love talking about farts. I could talk about farts for this entire episode, but we're not because I'm going to go into my next thing that I bought that I love so much.
Okay.
I bought a spin mop.
Well, fabulous. I don't even know what a spin mop is.
I bought a spin mop. I mean, my sister and my mom both bought a spin mop and wouldn't shut the front door up about it. And so then I borrowed my mom's spin mop. Oh my goodness gracious. So you take this mop and it comes with a bucket and then this little spinny thing and it has a step and you step on it and it wrings out the mop. So it's like completely dry. You don't leave streaks in your floor. You don't. it makes it so clean. You don't mop with dirty water. You just like change it. So we found this thing on this.
How much did it cost?
It's $29.
Oh, that's pretty cheap.
Thank you. And it comes with 2 extra mop heads.
Really?
Shut up. I'm really excited about this. But we follow this thing, Go Clean Co., I think is the thing on Instagram. Handle, was that what you say? So she says that you put a teaspoon of powdered Tide in the water, in like, I don't know, a gallon of water, some shit. I don't know, just fill it up.
A bucket?
Yeah. And then you put your spin mop in there, wring it out, and go. It's the cheapest, cleanest, most effective way I've ever cleaned my floors. And we have white tile floors.
We have the worst floors.
We have the worst floors in
for owning 3 giant dogs.
And having 2 human beings, one being someone that never takes his shoes off when he goes outside. Not me.
White tile floors. If you ever look at a house, you'll get fooled because when you go to visit a house, like when you're looking at homes, they're spotless.
Oh, those are so
stores,
pretty.
the floors pop. They're white. They look awesome. They make everything else look awesome that's around it. But what you don't think is, oh, it's never going to be like that when I live there. It's just going to show every smudge from a dog paw.
No.
And shoe.
We walked in, we were like, this is the prettiest floors ever. Oh, the grout.
So don't be fooled, house shoppers. A lot of you have the age where you're looking to buy your first house. Do not buy anything with white tile floors or light colored tile floors. Only get hardwood floors.
Hardwood floors because they cover everything. We still have 3 dogs, and all I have to do, they could have the muddiest paws in the entire United States of America, but all I have to do is sweep up the hair, and you wouldn't. They would still look clean.
That's a tip from us to you.
You're welcome. All right. So another thing that Toad and I did this week, we watched a Green Book. We haven't sat down and watched a movie together and
fucking phenomenal movie.
Long, but 11 out of 10. I mean, it was so good.
I avoided this movie like the plague. You've been wanting to watch it for a long time, and I looked at it, and it was up for all these Academy Awards.
But
I think
those
it probably won
usually mean
one or two.
Not good.
I know. When I see that, I'm like, oh, that movie's not going to be good. I have to be in the right mood for that kind of movie because it's going to be all serious and da-da-da-da. This wasn't. It was funny. It had everything. Like, it's for
witty.
Everybody. Yeah.
It was witty. It had just good witty humor throughout the whole thing.
And it tackled some big subject matter like race in the 60s or whenever this was taking place, or
probably
50s.
Yeah.
And it's all about an African-American
wealthy African-American
pianist who is famous because he's so good. He's like one of the world's best pianists. And he decides to take a tour through the South because he just wanted to conquer that. And so he's staying at shitty, like colored-only hotels and stuff. And that's not my phrasing. That's like what was on the building. And his driver was this Guido character from the East Coast who was a little bit racist himself, I would say. But then overcomes that, and they end up becoming great friends. And it's just a great fucking story.
It's so good. So it's on Showtime. So if you have Showtime, that's what it's on. And if you have the Showtime, package through Amazon, you can watch it on there
Viggo
too.
Mortensen and Mahershala Ali. I think I'm saying his name correctly.
I told you I don't know a single actor in that movie's name. All I
Boom.
care about
Good
was that
movie.
it was phenomenal.
We recommend it. Watch it.
So another thing we done this week, we grilled out again, and Todd spent the majority of our grill session grilling for our dogs.
Yeah, I have to. That's a thing I do when I grill. I have to fix something for the dogs. I don't want them to feel left out.
He made 4 giant hamburgers for 3 dogs.
Yeah, and they were into it. And Carter is the only one that's smart enough to know, as soon as I start getting the grill ready, he is all for it. He stands by the grill, and he's like, all right, what do you think about putting on there? I can see it in his face. And then he follows me in the kitchen as I go through the freezer or whatever, and he's kind of looking. He can't communicate it, but I can see in his eyes if I'm picking out something that he likes. And I picked out these hamburger patties that were frozen, and he was like, yep. That's it.
That picture I posted was the cutest damn thing.
Oh, he likes to watch him cook. It's incredible.
He's into it. Best dog.
He wishes that he had arms and legs so that he could grill. I could see it in his eyes. He's like, God damn it.
He is a good old man griller person thing, whatever you call.
Mm-hmm. And they loved it. I feed them under the table while we're eating.
So here's a question about hamburgers though. So everybody wants this biggest, baddest hamburger. Mm-hmm. And they build them into these giant towers of monstrosities. Why can't we if you want to make this giant, awesome hamburger, why can't you take the 5-pound burger and make it out horizontally and not vertically?
That's why I like Five Guys so much.
So why can't and then you add the toppings and it's kind of like a pizza hamburger. And so you can cut it in half, but you don't have to unhinge your jaw.
Yeah. It's the stupidest thing ever. When I go to a restaurant and they do that, I'm like,
I don't even want it
fucking
anymore.
people don't know what you're doing.
I don't even want it anymore.
Five Guys nails it. They don't stack it up with all the bullshit. It's just all the meat and goodness, and it's low profile, so you can actually put it into your mouth. You're wasting your time if you tower it with fucking toppings where I can't even bite into the son of a bitch.
Mostly,
it pisses me off.
I want a tomato and I want a plethora of mayonnaise on my hamburger and also ketchup.
Thank you. I don't like all the garden. I don't want lettuce on there. I don't want anything.
Lettuce kind of gets soggy. I want an onion though too.
Sometimes I'll take an onion on there, but I want it crispy. I don't like the soggy cooked all the way through onions.
I agree.
A little crunch
to it. And I want a sesame seed bun.
Bacon. I got to have bacon on there.
No bacon.
Here's why I want to look the listeners. Tell me if this is a good burger or not, because Marnee won't even try it. But peanut butter, bacon cheeseburger. So it's got cheese on it, and it's got peanut butter on it, and it's got bacon. To me, and maybe sometimes you throw some jalapenos on there to give it a little heat to mix with the sweet. To me, it's my favorite hamburger in the world.
I don't want any cheese on there. If you're going to put peanut butter and bacon, great. But why the hell would you put cheese on there?
Well, I don't know. I can go either way, but I've had it with the cheese. And it can surprise
you can't you? What a loser. All right, Toad.
All right.
I think
Let us know what you think about the peanut butter bacon burger.
And also, I think that's about it for what's happened this week.
No, we got a lot more. I went fishing for the first time. We went to your mom's. I threw a line in. I caught 4 fish. And they were decent-sized fish, and I felt amazing. To get out of this fucking house for a little bit and do something that I used to do pre-apocalypse felt awesome. And I got a new fishing rod, too. I got to try out that, like real man fishing with the open reel that Dave got me, mom's boyfriend got me, and I've got to, because I'm a thumb caster right now, and real fishermen make fun of me.
Yeah, because it's for babies.
But I'm good
That's
at
what
fishing.
babies do.
So I gotta learn some real man fishing this season. Can we talk about your gun defense? You've been planning.
That was a big discussion during Grill Out Night.
You've been trying to prepare yourself because there was an incident that people should know about. One day I received a call, and I forget what I was doing, but clearly couldn't get away. And,
you were out of the state.
Okay, yeah, I was doing comedy. I was on the road, and she had it in her mind that she was sitting on the back patio that someone entered the house and then hid silently. I'm like, first of all, listen to me. Think this through. We have 3 giant dogs that no one can even walk their kids in the street, which is, 50 yards from the front of our house without them going apeshit. And you thought that a stranger walked in the front door and then went through the house and found a hiding spot and the dogs didn't notice anything.
Carter was concerned.
Oh, okay. Because you were freaking out, which was causing him anxiety.
Okay, so that's a moot point for me.
Well, then what happens?
That's an embarrassing story, McComas.
It was hilarious.
Then what happened? I cried. I called Alex. I called my mom. I was trying to find somebody to come over and rescue me.
You also grabbed your gun and started to clear the house like you were a SWAT team.
I did do that. Also, things that I didn't want to talk about.
I'm like, okay, first of all, but I'm like, listen, if this happens again, how about we don't go into the area where you think a killer is hiding? Like you're already outside. Just run through the gate, go to a neighbor's house, call police. Instead, you chose to go into the danger zone. You thought there was a killer hiding inside, so you went in and would have probably, if he was there, you would have passed the hiding spot of said killer to go retrieve your gun, get it out, and then start doing room clearing.
Correct.
One at a time with no technique or tactics.
But no, my technique would have been, he would have thought that I was a dummy and that I was just YOLOing around the house. But in reality, I was going to get my gun. So then when I came out, the motherfucker would have been like, ha. And I would have been like,
Or he would have grabbed you up
But
on your way to the gun.
if you're a home invader and you're going to shoot your gun, you don't turn your gun sideways.
No, you don't go gangster style.
I don't know how to make a gun sound. I think that's what you do, though.
So I'm going to teach you. We'll empty the gun, and I'll teach you tactics on room clearing, how to hold it close to your chest, muzzle down.
Close to your
and then
chest.
up when
You
need
definitely
it.
go out like this.
No, you don't. You don't hold it out because as you go into a room, you're sticking out. They can grab the gun. You keep it up close to your chest so they can't grab it and take it away from you and shove it up your ass.
The room is you kick through the door, and then you're like, "Hey, motherfucker, gun out!" Pew, pew. Because I only think that the gun should be out is because my aim sucks so bad. So I feel like I need extra.
No, you're tactically sound right now. You're saying everything that's exactly how tactical people.
I feel like us
rooms.
talking about this right now on the podcast is like at the same terrible idea level as people that post that they're going out of town on vacation on Facebook.
You think some killer is listening right now like, oh, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to that house.
Challenge. Marnie's
and see if Marnie can handle me.
Yeah.
I do want to teach you. I think it would be cool to watch you like be tactically sound and then actually like look cool like Keanu Reeves with the gun.
But
like
I
John
need a
Wick,
flashlight
but
too.
you're a pretty
because
girl.
you need a flashlight to people like if you do that
So you
stuff,
hold it over the top.
You have to have
where you hold it underneath.
if you want to look cool, you have to have a flashlight.
Yeah. All right. My gun had a flashlight mount on it when I was on the fugitive team.
I think that's also some when guys have trucks with bigger wheels and they're lifted. I think that's like a compensation thing.
You looked extra cool. Like I could see other cops look at it. It's like, oh, I wish I had a fucking flashlight mount on my pistol.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, they did.
I
they were
think they
envious.
look at you
They
the
had
same
gun
way
envy.
people look at trucks with big tires. They're
No.
like,
Oh, no.
what a loser.
No, they're like, I want to be like that guy. All right. So, was there anything else that we're missing? Can we talk about all the flies that are in the house?
Oh, I love leaving the back door open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, Marnie, it's easy for the dogs if she just opens the door up. We need to get a doggy door or something.
No, they don't fit.
But she just opens the door and leaves it open with little regard to what comes in the house. So now, like, bedroom number 4 has 2 of the biggest flies I've ever seen in my life. Like, since I've lived on a farm, I have not seen flies this fat and this big.
It's hot outside.
They're the size of a peanut M&M, each of them.
Yum.
And they make so much noise when they buzz around. Like when I was sitting here like trying to write last night, and it was. So I turned off the light and I opened the door. Like, go toward the light. Nope, computer screen. Right at the computer screen. So I'm sitting there trying to write, and then slap. Like, they're so big. That's what they sound like when they hit the screen.
You got outfoxed by a fly.
Yeah,
Pretty
that you let
for
into
you.
the house.
You're
I'm going to have to get those sticky things you hang from the ceiling with the flies stick to. What are those fly traps?
Yeah.
That in our house would look cool too with a bunch of those in there, I think. Just covered with flies.
Cannot wait till quarantine's over so shit that has happened this week segment can be a lot more entertaining than what we just talked
This is what life's like during the quarantine. You don't get to go out and experience things. Everything's home-based, and this is what it's like. And I don't know why the flies don't bother you, that you keep insisting that you leave the door open, but I can only assume that you're a hillbilly.
I'm an extreme hillbilly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop going. I go to Tractor Supply at least twice a week, and and I thrive there. I'm the only SUV surrounded by trucks, and everybody is so kind and wonderful. It's my new favorite place to shop. Tractor Supply on 32 here in Westfield. Let's go.
I just think of you as like, I know you didn't grow up this way, but because you're this way, it makes me think like you grew up like people that I grew up with, where I know like their kitchen table was always stained with Kool-Aid. So flies just loved like they were attracted to the table because there was always sticky, like you couldn't put your arm down, like, these kids spilled Kool-Aid.
I grew
everywhere.
up in Carmel. We don't drink Kool-Aid. We
I
drink
know.
sparkling water.
I know, but you make me think of someone like that, and I don't know how you ended up this way. Your mom would be so ashamed. She didn't move you to Carmel to raise you to not care about flies in the house.
That's not true. She has a bunch of flies in her house too. Okay, topics of the week.
Okay.
my topic that I want to talk about are the differences between us with money. A listener question that we are just throwing into the topics of the week was asking basically, how are we going to do finances when/if we get married? Love you, Toad. Because between the two of us, our differences in money spending are absurd. So I'm a little petrified to combine bank accounts. I am quite stingy with my money.
Why would we ever combine bank accounts?
Why would we?
Yeah.
You don't want to?
Why wouldn't we keep separate bank accounts?
I love
like we do right now?
you. This is probably something we should talk about off the podcast, but that's a great thing that you say. Look, point for us, McComas.
I like having my own money.
like
you
having
like
my
having
own
your own
money.
money. And then you just decide what bills are paid by whom or whatever.
Which is what we're doing now.
Yeah, I pay all the bills. And then you pay your
Some
horse,
things.
you care for your horse.
Correct. It's a pretty good deal. So money habits.
But you are stingy.
But because I buy the groceries, right? So I'm the
She
grocery
does.
person. I am the duck food, the squirrel food, the miscellaneous shit around the house person. One thing that drives me crazy, paper towels are freaking expensive. And McComas will take the thing and go brrr, and just 900 million paper towels to wipe one corner of his mouth.
And that's not even close to what happens. What happens is I will choose to get a full paper towel. And you will yell at me, you don't need a full one. Cut it in half. Like I need half of a sheet of paper towel to use as a napkin for my dinner or to wipe something up with. That's ridiculous. Like that's over the top, cheap ass living.
No, it's frugal. Frugal.
It's insane. Is what it is. It's insane. And you are the same way with everything, really. You don't like to spend money on anything.
I hate spending
And I
money.
love spending money. Yeah, I'm probably
Money.
to my detriment, the opposite. Because I'm very generous. Like I give money to people or whatever. I overpay. I overtip.
McComas is the most generous person with money, with gift giving. Not to me, for literally everybody else. Is the most generous person ever. He will give you, if you walk up to him and you're like, dude, I'm cold. He'd be like, I just bought this jacket from Lululemon, which he did. And he's like, but you know what? You need it more than I do. Here. Or he'll be like, here is $400 to go buy a jacket from Lululemon.
But also, like, I'll go to the grocery store and spend $500. And
because you buy 6 things of bagels that we don't even eat.
And
bagels.
if I think we need a new TV, I go get a new TV.
And
Want a new computer? Go get a new computer. I'm not good at saving.
He wants 4 new TVs in this house. And we have brand new giant, you can see they're giant TVs in this house. And he wants all new ones for no reason.
Because every year they make them better. Smart TVs get better every year. I want the latest and greatest of everything. That's how I live my life. And you like to save, which is good because you have a lot more in your savings account than I have. And that's a plus. But also, I don't like going without. I think because I grew up poor for a long time, I overcompensate. I'm like, I want. And I'm that way at the grocery store. When I go there, we shop at the grocery very differently. First of all, I do spend a lot more money than you. But also, you shop like a child.
I shop for myself.
Marnee will go to the grocery and just pick random things. They don't go in concert with each other. It's like when I go, I'm like, all right, let me go through the entire grocery store first with 7 meals in mind. And I'm going to put together 7 meals. And I only get things for those 7 meals and put those in my cart. And then I go back through for extra stuff, snacks, alcohol, pop, tea, all that stuff. You just go through and you're like, oh, okay, here's some fancy nuts, and here's some
extra fancy
here's
nuts.
some extra fancy nuts, and here's some chips that there's no way Todd will even like, so I'm gonna get 2 of those. She buys the weirdest shit.
I also buy everything that's like Meijer brand, Kroger brand, Target brand, everything.
The worst pretzels.
I never buy brand name anything.
Can't get rolled golds. You got to get some kind of knockoff Kroger pretzel that's going to, is not going to be good. It's a total waste of
How
money.
are those tiny twists that I bought, though?
What brand are they?
I'm not sure, but I
Their
bought them.
name brand.
I bought them because they were cute.
Yeah, they're miniature
They're so
pretzels.
little.
By the way, how good is a pretzel rod?
I love a pretzel rod.
You just can't beat a good
honey pretzel rod too.
Now that's when you're getting stupid.
No, that's an elite pretzel rod.
No, they've ruined it. I've had them, and I've had the mustard flavored. Just give me the standard
flavored
pretzel rod. You can't beat it. It's the greatest thing in the world. If I ever own a bar, there will be pretzel rods laid out for everybody.
I'm hungry all the time. I just want to throw that out there. I'll eat everything all the time. Do you know how I save you money, though?
How?
Like, as I'm sitting here picking things off of this thing, I'm remembering the ways that I save you money since you're the bill payer. So.
Oh, by freezing me?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Okay. I got to tell everybody
The
this.
thermostat.
So
You're welcome.
We finally get the smart thermostat. They come do it for free, right? Because it helps them. It conserves energy, all that stuff. So the power company, Indianapolis Power and Light, comes in and installs the smart thermostat. Well,
it's a Nest.
I'm at work while they're installing it. So Marnee sets up the account through her phone and the app and all that stuff.
With my phone number, my email address, my password that I chose, everything.
So she has the settings set. There's a sensor on it to where it won't kick on unless someone breaks the photoelectronic beam that it emits from the front of the thermostat. So if I'm here alone, and it's starting to warm up now, thank God, outside.
It is humid AF
But
in bedroom
during the
number
winter,
4.
I would be trapped here in my office working all day. And next thing I know, I can see my breath. Like it's the thermostat is not kicking on. The heater is not kicking on. And I'm like, God damn it. So I have to run in there and walk in front of the goddamn thing to kick it on. And then it's only good for like a half hour. No one walks in front of it again. And it's freezing ass cold in here.
It goes to eco mode and it goes down to 60 degrees.
And she won't change it.
And I will not change it.
And I'm like, and the thermostat is in the only place in this house that a human being never walks in front of.
Correct. It's the greatest invention in the entire United States of America. Okay, first of all, I also want to sleep when it's cold. I don't want to sleep when it's fudging.
I like it cold when I'm going to sleep, but
Yeah.
You go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I go to bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's because I have shit to do, McComas. I got shit to do the
And
next
I work
day.
all night. That's when I get all my work done. And you're freezing me.
Well, I want to sleep in like 63-degree weather. And then the minute I wake up, so I have this thing. Literally, I'm such an asshole. I have this Nest completely personalized to me. So I have it to get cold when I go to bed. And then when my alarm goes off at 4:30, the heat goes on. So then it starts to heat up. And so then when I leave the house at 9, it'll go back down. And then, well, at 9, whatever, it'll
I think
go back
that's
down.
why I never get sick. The house is too cold. It's like, I don't know, like a surgery room. It's so cold there can be no germs. No germs can exist in this house.
I mean, I'm kind of an asshole. But that's not even what I was talking about the thermostat, because that's just really great of me, I think. So I think you're welcome for that. That's another way I save you money.
But I have to buy more coats because I have to wear like 2 coats in here.
So this was a topic that we were speaking about at work, and I realized that me doing this is saving Todd money and me saving the environment.
What is that?
Do you pee in the shower?
Oh, yeah.
Same, embarrassingly enough. And then whilst we were talking about this at work,
How does that save money?
because you're not flushing the toilet. And so that's water, that's all sorts of things. Energy, maybe some sort of electricity goes in. I don't know if your toilet's plugged in, but like, I feel like by me peeing in the shower, that's one less time of me flushing the toilet, which is saving you.
So maybe over the course of 12 years, you save us $3.
Do you know what that can buy you?
I think you just like peeing in the shower. Now, I think it's gross that women pee in the shower because I assume it just has to run down your legs.
How do you think pee comes out?
It just drops out of your vagina.
We're
hole.
not talking about that.
No, yes, because when a guy pees in the shower, I can point it away from me. Like I have control
You
over
probably
the
pointed
stream.
on my loofah.
You just drop it down. It just runs down your legs in the shower,
It's
right?
never once run down my legs in the shower.
When you spread apart enough that it drops cleanly, like how when a duck pees? Does it shoot out like... Like, you ever see a duck pee? You're like, whoa, hey, what's going on? Can you do that with your vagina?
No, I feel like I
That'd be
could
cool
make
if you
some
could.
fucking money if I could, though.
If you just were at the beach, walking around, you just pulled your bikini this side, and just shot out the stream across the beach.
If I
That'd be
could pee
awesome.
like that in
It would
public,
ruin the volleyball game. But
I would be a lot better public drinker because I hate drinking in public because there's never a bathroom to go pee, and I break the seal immediately, and it's the worst thing. I don't want to keep talking
would
about
you
this.
ever wear?
I am mortified that I brought this
Would
up.
you ever wear a diaper?
Yes,
like if
110%.
If they could design a diaper like you couldn't tell you had it on,
110%.
and you were like going in a vacation scenario like that, where I'm not going to want to run to the bathroom because you would wear the diaper and just pee it on yourself.
If I went to a One Direction concert where I'm assuming that there's a plethora of people and I'm going to be drinking copious amounts of wine, but I'm not going to want to miss the reunion of Zayn and the rest of the boys, I would 100% wear a diaper so I wouldn't have to pee.
Okay, good to know.
So
I'm gonna try to find you some.
But I just have to say this about peeing in the shower. My anesthesia resident that was in the room with me said that his dad would say that there's two types of people in this world. Those that pee in the shower and liars. And I think it's the most accurate thing in the entire
everybody
world.
pees in the
Because
shower.
everybody pees in the fucking shower.
If you don't pee in the shower, then you have some issues, I feel like.
I think so too.
I mean, it's your pee. It's your shower. Pee in it. And it feels awesome. It feels way better than just peeing in the toilet.
I agree. So now I don't want to talk about fucking peeing anymore. I feel like this has gotten raunchy and gross. And I am a lady, McComas.
Whatever.
So let's
You're a
talk
hoe.
about, I don't know. Do you want to talk about who your celebrity crush was growing up?
Sure.
Who was it?
I had a few.
I only chose
So-
one. This is going to hurt my feelings.
Okay. One of mine was Valerie Bertinelli. And people see Valerie Bertinelli now because she's on that cooking show. She's kind of a bigger lady. But Valerie Bertinelli was on a TV show when I was a kid called One Day at a Time. There's a remake of it now on Netflix or something. But she was in One Day at a Time. And she was probably a teenager. So she was probably 6 years older than me. And hot. So hot. I mean, she married Eddie Van Halen at one point. Like when she was younger, she was hot. She was a smoke show.
While you're
Everybody
talking-
was in love with her.
Can we? While you're talking about your crushes, can I go pee?
No. Wear a fucking diaper.
I have to pee.
And then another one was Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Elaine from Seinfeld.
You're absurd.
Now, she was on Saturday Night Live way before Seinfeld. And that's where because I was like, usually the girls on Saturday Night Live are funny, but not attractive. She was both. And I'm like, I just fell for her like crazy. And then she got on Seinfeld, and there was something about her hair. She has so much hair. And the way she would put it up, I was always super attracted to Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Do you like my TikTok hair?
We do.
Thanks.
Sure. All right, so who was your celebrity crush?
Zach Hansen.
Zach Hansen. Oh, the To Catch a Predator guy. The host of To Catch a Predator.
No.
That wasn't Zach Hansen?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. Was it Mark Hansen? What was his name?
Something Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not him. Zach Hansen.
He was a good-looking guy, though.
He was a good-looking guy. And that probably would have made sense if I was 7 years old in love with an older man. It would
Why
have
don't
been
you
like
have
a
a seat?
foreshadowing.
What do you have in the backpack?
No, Zach Hansen is the youngest member of the group Hansen.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. They were heartthrobs, for sure. Where are they now? What do they do now?
They still make CDs, and they're
Really?
still really great.
They still tour
Yes.
at all?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Would you go see them if they come to Indianapolis?
No question.
You would?
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe I'll buy you tickets. And then
Once
a diaper.
again, gift giving to everybody else but me.
I'll buy you tickets to Hanson and get you an adult diaper, some Depends, so you don't have to go to the bathroom and miss
Right
part of the
now,
show.
because I'm like crying.
Time management, very important in podcasting.
Like it. All right.
What else we got? What else did you bring to the table for topics? Or are we ready for listener questions?
If you could get away with a crime, what would you get away with?
I would want big money. So I think lottery fraud.
What a stupid thing to say.
Well, I feel like the punishment isn't really harsh, and I know it's not. What I'll tell my story, but what crime would you first?
I would want a car ramrod all cars that got in my way.
You want to be? Is that a crime? Car ramrodding? Is that a
I'm
actual
pretty
crime
sure
on the
it's
books?
illegal that if you are pissing me off.
Crashing.
Like if you're going too slow, I want to take my car and I want to hit the accelerator and slam in the back of you to give you that little
You want like
motivation to
a
go
monster
fast.
car that has like boards on the side and stuff for ramming. It's like a crash up derby car, but you're on the interstate with it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I want to do lottery fraud because there's millions of dollars at stake. Now, I actually know someone who did a lottery fraud, like friends of mine. So I had a friend.
Welcome to Shelbyville. I didn't know anybody in Carmel that did this.
It was a retired cop, and he was working as security for the Hoosier Lottery, Indiana Lottery. And while drunk, he let loose during a conversation to some other folks that he knew where the $1 million scratch-off ticket was. There's only one. So this little town in Indiana that I think only has like a little mini mart in it. It's like the only business in this little burg.
Is there $1 million one per state or per country?
I am only talking the Hoosier Lottery.
Oh,
so
once again,
yeah.
listen.
So in Indiana, there was $1 million scratch-off ticket this week, right? So it's a $20 scratcher. And he lets them know that part of his job is to know where that ticket is. And he told them what town it's at and what store. So one of the dudes decides, I'm going to get $1 million. I'm going to take this information and go get $1 million. So he doesn't have enough money to buy several $20 tickets because he's a broke ass. So he goes and gets a guy that he knows has money and says, let's go in 50-50. I know where the $1 million scratch off is. So let's go to the store and let's buy all the $20 scratch offs that they have. Not suspicious at all, right? They go to this little bitty place in Corydon, Indiana, walk in. I think it's like bait tackle mini mart place. And they're like, we want to buy all the $20 scratchers. So they just unroll the whole thing, buy it all. Then they win. They win the $1 million. And they have to go, like at some point, you got to go meet with the head of security. So,
Which was him?
Congratulations. No, not him. He worked for the head of security. So they go meet with the head of security, and immediately that guy goes, man, you look very familiar to me. And he's like, oh, yeah, I don't know why. And he's like, I think it's because I met you through the guy who works security for me, and we drank together at an FOP event. And he's like, oh, no, you must be thinking of somebody else. Clearly blown out of the water immediately. So he goes and researches it, finds out that these idiots bought every $20 scratcher in this little bitty town and then won. And then it unfolds. They end up getting charged with fraud, like committing fraud against the lottery, and lose their $1 million. They were each going to get $18,500 a year for the rest of their lives.
That's it?
That's splitting it 50-50. Yeah.
It's not really worth it.
No, I mean, but they didn't get in trouble. They got like probation. It was no big deal. So
Not really worth it.
oh, that's the crime I would commit.
Stupid.
You think all my
mine
stories are
better.
stupid. Let's just move forward.
Well, I just feel like
I mean, because a lot of people know people that have scammed the lottery
you're gonna
for $1
do
million.
it for $18,000 a year,
The rest of your life. So they each were getting $500,000 because they were splitting the $1 million.
I mean, I guess that
But it was stretched over a 20-year period of your life. So it was worth a shot, but all I had to do was he could have sent the other guy instead of him going. He knows everybody there. He has drank with the head of security for the lottery as his employee's friend.
He got cocky.
Yeah. He's like, I want to go. I want to do it because he didn't trust the other guy. Here's the whole thing. You can't involve other people. And the other guy confessed. So this guy was going to fight it. Be like, oh, yeah, that is weird. It's a coincidence, but prove it.
So he was in cahoots with a snitch,
Yeah.
which is your first mistake.
The more people
The
you
snake.
involve, the more likely it is to get busted.
I like mine better. It's a crime of passion.
Yours is more exciting.
A
It's just
crime
less
of
realistic.
passion by myself. It's the best.
Yeah, you just go around crashing people.
All right, McComas, listener questions.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start off with this one. They wanted to be anonymous, so I'm going to kind of fudge the story a little bit, just so it's not so in-depth. It said, I just started talking to a friend that I really like and care about. We've been talking for some time, and she recently told me that she was miserable in her last relationship. But the kicker is that she's pregnant with her ex's baby.
How pregnant?
I don't really want to give that away because I feel like if they're listening, maybe she'll get mad at him.
She's too late for an abortion pregnant?
Oh, man.
I'm just asking, like time frame wise.
Jesus, no.
Okay.
Is the answer.
Okay.
So no. But he wants some perspective.
Okay.
But I highly doubt the schmishmortion is a question or even
No.
an answer.
I was just trying to think how far she was along. So here's one thing you got to consider. You really got to ask yourself, how much do I love this person? Because you are about to take on a lot.
A lot.
Being part of another man's child's life is a fucking lot. You're forever going to be the stepdad if you get married.
Forever.
And you have to think about if that's a role that you want. Now, I don't know how involved the other dad plans on being or any of that stuff that can affect things.
Well, if she was miserable with him, he sounds like a slight jackass. So then you have to put into account, like, you aren't going to be a stepdad to, like, a cool guy. You're going to be a stepdad to a dick.
Well, that's even worse then. So you got to take that into account. So it's not, I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing you got to figure out is, without a doubt, is this a person that you're going to want to spend the rest of your life with? Because you're also taking on somebody else's child. It's different than raising your own child. And
go through the whole pregnancy. Pregnancies are hard. So you have to go through that whole pregnancy, the whole first small, like when the baby is very, very baby.
Well, you got to do that when you have your own kids too.
But it's not his.
Right.
So then if he leaves, she's been used to that. Then he's going to be feeling guilty about leaving.
Oh, you're saying if it doesn't work out post
baby
being
born.
a child.
And then he goes through all that stuff, and then he feels attached to the kid. And then he probably will not have any rights to that kid afterwards because you are putting up a lot at stake. But if she's worth it and you think that it's going to be the long haul, I don't see why it couldn't work out. But
she needs to be extra awesome.
She needs to be extra awesome.
That's a lot to take on. And another way you can decide if this is something you want or not is that you can do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo game. And
I told him we were going to be serious about this one.
I am being serious. I'm giving good advice. I have been, as a person who has been a stepdad, I am just telling you that's a lot. Now, you are coming in on the ground floor, so that child's going to be very close to you and probably think of you more as a dad than even the other dude, which maybe is unfortunate for him because I'm not saying he's a bad dude. Who knows? I mean, there's two sides to every story. So, but he's always going to be there. And that's a lot to deal with for the rest of your life. But if she's worth it, she's worth it. And it's all good no matter what. Me
being the stingy money person too, I read this story on Reddit. It was an Am I the Asshole thing because I'm obsessed with Reddit. About how he made more money or she made more money than him. And like he would always get butthurt that she wasn't paying the bills for him and his kid. And so then it's like, well, it's not really my kid. You know, if you want to take your kid on vacation, phenomenal, but I'm not going to foot the bill for you to go on vacation with your kid. So it's like there's a lot of things that you have to.
Yeah, bring in even more drama then because that's going to be a great way to make her happy.
Money is a huge thing in a lot of relationships. And especially
if you want to upset a mother of a child, then make sure that you put extra effort into making sure that child feels like not part of things.
Correct. So there's a lot of things you have to think about, but I think if she's worth it, and I think if you guys like truly sit down, have an awesome adult conversation, and talk about the pros, the cons, the this, the that, what can happen. You know, it's like, be real, be adults. If you really like her and she really likes you and you both see this thing happening.
Or not to belabor the point, but equity is a big part of it. Like, so if you can make things more fair, like things need to be as fair as possible when you do this. So what you might think about doing is you going to get somebody else pregnant. And then bring in a child from another person as well. That way you each have one. And then you'll much better understand where the other person's coming from.
I'm pissed you wouldn't let me bring my jewel in here today because now is the time that I need to hit it so I don't punch you across this table.
But I do wish you luck because love is complicated, man, and that's just the simplest way to put it.
And let us know. Keep us posted.
Yeah, keep us updated because, I mean, in all likelihood, like I have a lot of friends that have, one of my good friends, Jeff Oskey, his lady has kids with another person. His son is from a previous relationship, and they all get along like one awesome family.
They have worked that out perfectly.
So I would say my friend Jeff Oskey is a great example to anybody about, it doesn't really matter where the kids come from. Everybody love everybody, and and everybody feels safe and warm and happy and can be awesome.
You just filled my heart with joy. That was very mature and
That's
nice
my serious non-comedian answer.
All right. Then here's our next question. This is from Caitlin. And she said, do you ever deny one another sex when the other person wants to?
You do. All the time. You'll be like, no, stop. I'm not doing that. Stop touching me there.
Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Oh, my God.
You're really good at that. You have to be in the right mood. Or you'll be like, no, let's just do it. Don't go down there. Just do it. Let's just do it. Just get on top of me.
You make me sound like a bad person. He always wants to do it, and especially after I eat. Like, I'll eat this giant meal, and he'll be like, let's go. I'm like, well, currently I have a food baby. I don't feel that great. I'm slightly full. I don't really think that. Or I'm like, all right, fine, then you get on top.
I'm not getting on top of you. You have to get on top of me, and don't do anything else.
I am fun in bed. Fuck off.
You are at times, but you get in those moods like that where you're, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to do it now. Where you're just like, all right, let's just get it over with.
But then it always ends up being an enjoyable experience.
Sure.
Shit. Fuck
it's never bad.
But what's funny though is that
have I ever turned you down?
I think a couple times, yeah. You're so busy, or something along the. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. You have your douchebag reasons too. My sugar's low. But what's funny is that she said that he denied her, that she wanted a quickie in the morning before work, and he was like, "Nah, dog, not right now. Like,
really?
I have to go to work."
He had a lot on his mind.
I love morning
Maybe he was
sex.
up for a promotion.
Morning sex is the key time to do it, though. So that's why, like, I love waking up and banging. I think that's the most ideal time to do it because it's I
think it's great sex, but then also, like, a half hour later, I want a nap. And then I'm at work.
You could just go to bed.
No, like, you talking about knocking it out before you go to work? Like, there's always that post-sex nap feeling that overcomes you.
See, because I get that post-sex, like, adrenaline.
Really? Mm-hmm. You get your day going afterward? You're like, let's go.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I just want to take a little snooze. Because everything's out then. All that.
I just threw up all over the place.
It's out. And then your body, maybe it's just how dudes are versus women. Like, once that stuff's gone, your body's like, I need to recover for a little bit. Shut down for about 45 minutes. Do
you think men would be better at sex if women stopped faking it?
I don't know. I've never seen a woman fake it in my life.
Oh, my God.
Do women really fake orgasms?
Is a pig's pussy pork?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like in my head that a woman has never faked an orgasm with me.
Congratulations.
Have you ever faked an orgasm with me?
Uh-huh.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Why? Why would you even do that? What's the...
I think we were both really drunk.
You just wanted it to end?
Uh-huh.
I probably wanted it to end too.
You faked one once when we first started dating. You admitted to it too. No,
it was one of those... orgasms, probably because I was drunk, where it kind of happens but not all the way.
Right.
And then my body's like, yeah, we're done, dude. I gave it my best shot.
But there was a grandiose performance that obviously wasn't there.
What?
That you gave this performance. It's like, bitch, this is not my first run around. Like, come on. I know.
Was I really acting really hard? Was I like, wah! They do it like a funny face, like, I don't know how I do it.
But the answer to me is yes. If women stop fucking being like faking it and would just be like, bitch, a little to the right and I'll get off, instead of just being like, I can't handle him fucking up another second.
Communication's key during sex.
It's
just
huge.
get down there, just guide along. Be like, no, put your fingers right here.
Yes.
Do this.
It's huge.
Go in a circle instead of up and down or whatever the hell you do.
This is not a freaking record. You are not a DJ. Chill out. All right. Speaking of being grossed out, I apologize, Mother, for that one. Do you ever get grossed out by things I talk about from work?
Yeah, and you always want to bring it up when people are trying to eat for some reason.
Because it's interesting. The shit I do is interesting.
It is, but we don't always want to hear it when we're trying to eat. Like, and another thing you do is you have a hard time talking about your job in non-technical terms. So most of the time we don't even know what you're talking about. You'd be like, yeah, we ran a line on the B-17 and then bring it in and did a UDF and a da-da-da. And we're like, we have no idea what any of this stuff is. Can you just say that?
Alyssa would know what I was talking about. Maybe I should just call her when I want to talk to her about work.
I want you to be able to like tell these stories to people in regular English. But it was hard for me, like when I was a cop, when I first started telling cop stories, it took me a while to realize I was talking to inside baseball. Like I was using cop slang and code and abbreviations for everything.
Just because we're wicked smart and you guys are the minority, it's not our fault.
Like give me an example of something that sounds really technical that you do in surgery that only you as a person who's worked in surgery would know what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I guess
a piece of equipment or anything.
A pancreaticoduodenectomy.
Okay, so what is a pancreaticoduodenectomy?
It's kind of like a Whipple procedure. So
nobody knows what a Whipple is. So
if
that's
you have
another good example.
pancreatic cancer, so we'll take out part of your pancreas, part of your stomach, part of your intestines.
That's when you talk to a regular person, you need to say, so we had a person in today where they had this procedure. We had to take out part of their pancreas, part of the, we call it a Whipple. And then you can throw that in there so you still get the term out. But that's how you need to tell these stories.
And do you know what's so fun is that on Grey's Anatomy, they did a Whipple one time, and everybody wanted to do the Whipple because it's such a rare procedure. But at my elite hospital with my elite coworkers and surgeons, we do like 5 a week.
Really?
Plus. Yeah.
Look at you.
I know. We're elite. We are an elite squad.
You guys are Whipplers.
We are elite.
You're some of the best Whipplers.
Our HPB team with all of our favorite John, Molly, Danica, Alex, Jenna.
What's that team?
Hepatobiliary.
What's a hepatobiliary?
So it's like your liver, your gallbladder, your pancreas.
There you go. That's how you say it. Nice.
And Lauren's on it too, who we dedicated the first episode to.
Nice.
And Will.
All right. What's the last question?
What's a favorite meal we like to have together? I think pizza.
Yeah, we really dig pizza. But it depends. If we're like cooking it ourselves, I like the fun of making tacos.
Oh, I love making tacos with you.
Yeah, because you got to prepare like all the sides,
right.
The stuff
it's
to put
a good
on top.
interactive meal for both of us.
Like you can break up into teams. You do this, you do that. Now, it took a while to learn because I like things way spicier than you do. Not to make the actual taco mixture flaming ass hot.
Correct.
So that you could also eat. Remember when you first started staying over and I would make breakfast tacos and they would be so fucking hot like you would sweat because that's how Bailey, my son, and I would eat them.
With all the jalapenos, all the sriracha mayo, all.
And you would tough it out because you're still on that stage of the dating relationship where you like don't want to bitch about stuff. You would just be wiping your face with a rag.
And then what also happens when you're first starting to date and we live in a place and the only bathroom is in your bedroom and you eat really spicy food?
You're just sitting there.
You go, you go, I have to go home. Good to see you. Bye. And you leave.
That's great. All right.
All right, McComas. Well, this was fun. I kind of like this
fun.
episode.
We were all over the place. I like it that way.
You weren't so tangenty either. We could work together.
I'll get tangenty again at some point.
Me. All right. Well, this was very fun. Please, everybody, do not forget to subscribe, rate, review, share it. Please share it. Get your friends to listen. Get your friends to like it. We also want feedback. We were writing this out together, kind of talking about topics and stuff, and we decided we want this to be way more interactive with you guys.
Yeah.
So with these dedications, I dedicated it to me because nobody was talking to me, telling,
And it really, any idea you have at all, content related.
Anything.
Things you're like, oh, I think it'd be cool if you guys talked about this or whatever. Just throw it at us. This is a new podcast. We're just feeling our way around things right now.
And we're having fun. And also anything that we talked about, the dumb things that we talked about, who was your celebrity crush? What crime would you get away with? Comment on a picture. Tell us. And then if we like it, we'll bring it up at what happened this week.
And don't forget to let us know if there's shit you would like to see incorporated in the website. Because we like the website and we want it to be used. We want it to be user-friendly and interesting enough and engaging enough that you want to visit.
If you want a link to my spin mop or my fart spray.
See?
Or my phone case.
I think Marnee should blog, and when she finds cool shit like that, she should write a little entertaining blog about it and then put the link for everything in there for you guys. That's what I think. You let me know if you agree. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and maybe I'll blog a couple things as well.
Well, thank you so much. Don't forget, follow us at the #4 Life Podcast right here. Woo. On Instagram, Twitter, not Facebook because nobody really, I don't know.
We'll get on Facebook.
We'll get on Facebook, I'm sure, at some point, but neither one of us really use it, so... Definitely follow us, love it, like it, rate it, review it, share it. And thank you so much for listening. And until next week, have a nice life.
Living that full life, knowing that you're mine. All I want's for time.